What is up, everybody? Today is gonna be a good one. Excuse the shaving procedure. Just nicked myself. Bleeding all out. So I got a Reddit post here that has caught my attention, and I want to get into it. I want to get into it. There's actually two posts that caught my attention. I'll start with this one. I don't know if I want to get into the second post because I don't think you guys are just ready to hear it from me. So I'm kind of using this one as like a little tester to see how it goes. So this is a post that was on 2 X chromosomes. The title is this: I am a straight male who went out in public dressed as a woman. I now have a newfound understanding of why women are tired and scared. And here's the post. Let me preface this by saying that I don't claim to understand all that you go through by any means, but I did gain some insight and it was remarkable. I am a closeted crossdresser. Last week, I shaved my face, shaved my legs, put on a wig, makeup, tights, and dress, and went out to a couple of department stores. With the help of foam and breast forms, I had a fairly feminine figure. My makeup skills aren't great, and I'm short and not muscular, so the ability to wear a face mask everywhere I went really hid most signs that would be telling that I wasn't a woman. In a matter of a few hours, I got far too many compliments, stares, and creeps. Some compliments were fun. Is that creeps as in like you got the creeps, or is that creeps as in you attracted creeps? Okay. Some compliments were fine, like the guy who was standing next to me and simple said he liked my dress. I said thanks, and that was it. But the guy who told his friend in a whisper that I had nice tits was not quite as welcome. I became painfully aware of how many men were looking at me like an object. At first I was flattered, but that soon turned into disgust as I realized that this is what women go through on a daily basis, and that I too have certainly acted like they were. I've seen plenty of guys saying that women are attention whores, ungrateful when complimented, that they need to smile more, etc., etc. But only a few hours of being seen as a woman has told me all that I need to know about how many men there are that need to change their attitudes, including me. There's only so much I can say without repeating myself over and over. But now that at least one dude has seen the light and has a new respect for what the female experience can be like. Hi ho Silva, you go, Glen Coco, you go. Alright. So we got a guy here whose audience is mostly women who live in fear and they're tired. And he's basically saying, hey, you know, I dressed like one of you guys. I went out into the wild and I got all these just appalling, at least to me, they felt appalling, and creeps and stuff like that. I feel like I know what you guys are going through. That's what this guy is saying. So this post is about a guy who gets seen as a girl out in public. Must be tough. And you're right. With the masks, people have no idea that you're a guy. And you can get hit on, be mistaken for a woman. Yeah, man, that's tough. Because what do you do as a guy when a guy starts hitting on you? Because then you're both embarrassed, because he's like, oh, you're a guy, and you're like, yeah. And all that stuff you just said was very erotic, but no thank you, man. This guy's a trooper, man. He's going out there. He's going out there dressing like a girl. Can you imagine that? Could you imagine being a man? Imagine being a man and going out dressing like a girl. Jeez. I couldn't even begin to understand why these women, apologies, why these men would even want to dress up like women and put themselves in the fray like that. Let's read some of the comments, shall we? My husband has recently grown his hair long for the first time in his life. This is the top comment, by the way. One night, we had just arrived in Las Vegas, tired from traveling, not drinking, and we stopped for a late bite to eat in a casino. There was a drunk man sitting at the table behind my husband, so he could see me from my front and my husband only from the back, his ponytail. The drunk guy kept, for like 10 minutes, calling out to some ladies just behind me, being lewd and loudly, telling them to come to his room for a good time, etc. I was largely ignoring him, and we really thought he was talking to some people behind me. He kept saying, hey, ladies, and that sort. So then he taps my husband on the shoulder and goes, hey, sweetie, don't ignore me. And he stops in his effing tracks and probably crapped himself when my husband turned around and showed his gruff beard. Ha! The guy had thought we both were girls and was harassing us, or US. It's capitalized, so I don't know. We had dismissed it because he kept saying girls, ladies. He so profusely apologized, and I have never seen a dude look so scared. My husband was absolutely shocked, and when he realized he was the target of completely unwanted and unwarranted sexual harassment, it really stuck with him. Sorry, the sentence was broken up with a period there that I don't think should be there, but anyways. So that's the top comment. Lady's out with her husband has a ponytail, he gets hit on from behind. Probably better than getting hit on from the front. And apparently it really traumatized him. It really stuck with him. I hope he's okay. And that was not sarcasm. Like, I really hope, because those kind of comments, those kind of unwarranted, unwanted things, man, they stick with you. Let's find some more here. Something good. Here we go. This one has 2 awards, so you know it's good. It's always somewhat nice to see these posts, but if you look through the sub, you'll notice we actually get a lot of these types of stories of men who understand, had an epiphany because they heard some gross misogyny or objectification. And we get very few submissions where men are being called out by other men for their behavior. Be the change. We don't really need to hear that you know better now, but those men who objectified you certainly could stand to hear it. I'm going to read some comments on this comment. These posts are nice, I guess, but men could also just believe women in the first place. I agree with this. I don't discuss feminism often, but the few times I've called myself a feminist, people say, oh, did your mom or sister convince you? No, basic human empathy convinced me. Nothing bugs me more than someone saying, I get it, now I have a daughter. Or think if it was your sister or mother. Like, really? That's what it takes? You can't just consider this other person worthy of human decency on their own merit? Like it never occurred to them to not completely recognize them before? There have been some studies that men have less empathy for people outside of their in-group. Oh my gosh. So yeah, oftentimes it really does take imagining their mother or sister. Oh my, link to the studies, someone says under. Yeah, link to, you can't just say that. You can't just say that men have less empathy for people outside of their in-group. Yo, that would be like me saying like, something about women that I have no idea about. Man, that hurt. That hurt, girlfriend. That hurt. Some studies that men have less empathy for people outside of their in-group. Come on. Man. I'm always teaching my boys to put their empathy hats on. I'm always telling them to put themselves in other people's shoes. That cut deep, girl. That cut deep. But there was a point to that first comment, which was, we actually get a lot of types of these stories of men who understand or had an epiphany because they had some gross misogyny or an objectification, and we got a few submissions where men are being called out by other men for their behavior. That's what they want. They get few submissions where men are being called out by other men for their behavior. Okay, men, this is me, man, calling you, man, out and saying, come out. Come out. The women obviously are on their own game. It's 2020. They have this idea that they want to go pursue. So what I'm saying, men, let them go. Let them go do what they want to do. And as for us, yo, I'm thinking like, we really get busy with ourselves, man. We like, this world is an adventure. Like, let's go build more pyramids. Why not? We don't have a goal. That's our problem, man. We don't have a goal. This whole rat race, the whole 9 to 5 and hustle and bustle and this and that and da-da-da-da-da. That's for the world to appease women. We don't need to be a part of that. We can go do men's stuff. We can go on adventures. Imagine if we all squatted up and they heard the time about when the American men stopped in their tracks, turned the other way, grabbed all the cool stuff that they had when they were kids, and were like, let's go take on the world. Because we can do it together. I don't care if you're fat, skinny, medium, large. If you're a man, come ride with me, come ride with us, come ride with the boys, and there will be a spot for you. I will see what talent you have, and I will put you exactly where you need to be. And we could go do some epic stuff. The world isn't over. There's so much out there. So yes, men, this is me, man, calling you, man, out. I'm calling you out, and I'm saying, come chill. But don't chill too hard. Stay alert, because this is an adventure, and there's goons, and there's goblins, and there's all sorts of trolls, and all sorts of other stuff that's probably gonna slay us. So, you also gotta come correct. Let the girls do their thing. Okay? They have it figured out for them. And they obviously don't want your empathy or your sympathy. Clearly. And I'm telling you, some of these comments from these ladies here, it's clear that the only thing that they'll be happy with is if you suffer. They don't want your empathy, they don't want your sympathy, they don't want you to tell you that you got it. They want you to feel what they're feeling. They want you to feel tired and fearful. And they don't quite realize that a lot of the fear comes from media and comes from movies and comes from all these things that make you feel like the streets and stuff aren't safe. Hey, when those compliments, when those unwanted gestures and compliments, when those unwanted compliments come from the wrong guy in the wrong way to the wrong girl, or the wrong guy who looks like a girl, you just gotta laugh it off. Just gotta laugh it off. And I'm saying that with passion. I'm saying that with passion because I get you, sister. Look at my face. Look at my face. You don't think I get it? You don't think I get it? Read it. Read my face. I'm not looking away. I'll look right into the camera. Read my face. I'll look at it for 15 minutes if I have to. Study it. And tell me that this isn't a face of a man who gets it. Don't be scared. Don't be fearful. Don't worry. Don't overthink. Don't overplan. We are going to be okay. Okay? I love you all.